Hello everybody, happy Monday. It has been a busy day so far here. We were working on school, and then we had I had picked up some pineapples at Aldi this week. They were $1.29 each, and so we decided to can them. And this is the first time we tried that, but hopefully it'll go well. So we did that, and now I'm outside. And it's a beautiful day, absolutely beautiful. And I'm going to be hanging some laundry on the line. I'm going to do 2 loads out there. We just got back from vacation, well, actually, I guess it's been like a week, but we've been busy. So we're still catching up on laundry. So we're going to try to get that done, and then maybe we can move on to like washing the winter coats and things before we pack them away. But I've been running stuff in the dryer this morning, but then I'm also going to hang some stuff out just because it's cheaper and it works just as well. So we're going to do that, and I thought I'd show you kind of what I've got planted in the garden so far. Right now it is April 10th, so we're in zone 6B here in Western Maryland, and most of our planting isn't going to happen for another month and a half or so. Around Memorial Day we'll get most things in the ground, but we've got a few things in. We've got potatoes in, and we've got some of the spring crops in and ready, and so I'll show you where we're starting, and then as the summer progresses I can show you what's happening. So right here, this looks like a giant rectangle of leaves. So we have a peach tree there, a peach tree here, and then this whole area is actually what we call our potato garden. So we haven't fenced it. We're hoping to, but it's not fenced yet. And we have a few free-range chickens. Our older chickens that are just kind of living out their life here have been free-range, and when the dirt is torn up, they can smell that. They know there is dirt, and they will come and dig the potatoes back up. So we decided after they dug them up twice that we were going to cover them with leaves, and that'll help protect them if, they kind of come to the surface. We have very thick clay soil here, so it's hard to get really very deep. We did top dress this whole thing with manure, till it in, and then plant in it, but we've got about 2 or 3 inches of leaves on there, and if you can see around me, we have no shortage of leaves anywhere on this property. So we can keep mulching with that. We're going to mulch some with some wood chips, kind of sawdust, I guess, from a local sawmill in the main garden. But for now, this is all covered with the leaves, and I think it's going to be fine. The potatoes are going to be able to come up just fine through that. So we've got that going on, and then I'll take you up and show you. But back here, we have these 2 raised beds, and those are a few spring crops. So we'll go show you that. We have this cherry tree here, and we did have one on this side, but it died, so we do need to get another cherry tree. They need to have a companion. So up here in our beds, we have a few lonely strawberries. We planted some last year in these beds, and only a few of them survived, and then I transplanted some of them because they were all spread out, and so I'm not sure how well that's going to go. We're not very good strawberry growers. But in here then I have kohlrabi and radishes. They're not up yet, but we're hopeful. And then this bed is going to be turnips and kale and spinach. The kale and spinach I have underneath this little hoop, and I do have the plastic that goes over it. If they start to come up and it would happen to get cold, I want to be able to cover them and let them get big as quickly as possible because we are missing our greens. So that is what is going on in this part of the property. Okay, so we've got garlic in here that we started last fall, and I need to mulch it soon. This raised bed here by our chimney is going to be beets, and they're not up yet either. I'm not seeing any growth in there, but it won't take long once they start coming up. We usually plant something in here, but it needs the soil replaced, so there's nothing in there yet. And then these have our lettuces and peas in them. The kids watered them yesterday. I don't think there was much coming up. Got things that don't belong, of course, but I do think these, we got lettuce coming up in these two, here and here. So, but the same thing, once they start coming up, it won't take long. There was a pea that was kind of, yeah, they were planted pretty shallowly. We'll tuck them back in, and they'll do fine. Oh, there's another one. That one's way out of where it needs to be. But the idea is for them to be able to climb these cattle panels here, and we'll let them on there until they're done, and then we'll replace them with pole beans and maybe some cucumbers. So Dan went the other day, my husband, and picked up 3 more of the cattle panels and the stakes for the main garden. So we've been working on what's going to be in here, kind of laying it out. So I don't think I mentioned which varieties of potatoes we ended up planting, but we did Yukon Gold in the potato garden, which from here is right over there. And then we've got Chieftain red potatoes in this whole area, so I think there's like 5.5 rows from here all the way over. And we watered them really well yesterday. It's not been a very moist spring so far, but hopefully that will change. We have cardboard to lay down in the walkways then, but we've got 2 more apple trees here that we planted at the same time as the peaches. So there's 1 and 2. We have 2 older apple trees up here, but they're not doing well, so they're probably going to end up coming down. But then we have, I think, 14 tires that we can plant in, and they were filled with manure, but we'll probably top dress them with some compost. And usually we'll put in there, you can put sprawling things, so we can put like a single squash and allow it to come out over. A lot of times we put herbs. We'll put some flowers in here, just some extra kind of things. And then we'll have our main beds over in the other 2/3 of this garden. So this is really nice. We leveled it up this way this year. We have a nice walkway. And then the potatoes from this end, they are ending right here. So then on this part of the garden, we kind of had it staked out a little bit. We're going to have 3 long beds. They're each going to be 3 feet wide and 19 feet long. And that way I can reach in, but we're going to do kind of the square foot gardening method. So that'll tell me how many of each thing I can plant, in each section. We got a cool little plastic thing that has holes so we can space things evenly, because in the past I've definitely been known for planting things too far apart, and then they don't have anything to lean on. They don't have kind of the ground coverage, and we're also going to mulch better this year. But so we'll have those 3, and then there's also going to be like 1 narrower garden. It's only going to be, I think, 2 feet wide, maybe 30 inches wide. That'll be 19 feet long as well. And that's probably where we'll put the cattle panels. And that's going to be for our tomatoes and maybe some of the cucumbers. I'm not sure. And then we'll have one kind of long, narrow bed that'll go near the fence the whole way up toward the gate. And I'm hoping I can just stake peppers in that part of the garden. So our garden space isn't huge. I think we figured out it was, let's see, like 35 by 25, something like that. It's not huge, but then we have the other raised beds as well. But this time of year is just so exciting to think about what's going to be coming and getting our hands dirty to begin with. It's exciting. So I'm looking forward to taking you along, and we'll see what we get out of this garden. We are definitely amateur gardeners. We don't know everything for sure, but it's fun. So I think I'm going to go get this laundry hung up so that it has plenty of time to dry before it gets dark.